These trees are so magnificent. They're so magnificent. Oh my god. You guys, I have never seen trees like this before. I mean, obviously I've seen them in movies, and I've always wanted to see them in real life, and they are truly magnificent. They are spectacular. I don't know what kind of trees these are, but I'm gonna find out because they are wonderful. I love whatever kind of tree this is. This is my kind of tree right here. I'm really digging these trees. So before I knew it, I looked over and I'm like off the side of a cliff now. So I guess I'm driving up the mountain now. I just didn't even have any idea. And I think it's kind of funny, like all of the mountain ranges where I thought like I would be kind of nervous or freaked out to be on them, I was already on them and just didn't even realize it. And then I just kind of look over and I'm like, oh. So it's kind of funny. It's like if you don't even know, your mind doesn't have that time to make you freak out. You're just you don't even have the idea or concept that you're about to do something that would have given you anxiety. You just do it. So just something to think about. You can see the roots from the bottoms of the trees. Isn't that so cool? The roots are as deep as a tree is tall too, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna try and get a clip of the side of the cliff that I'm driving on now. I didn't even realize I was that high up already. I was like, oh wow. And I think what's nice is driving to this, there's so many trees that would act as a barrier to you, like, you know, descending off to your doom. It's like, if it wants you to get up to it, it'll let you get up to it. So I'm gonna wait to go around the bend here and see if we can see off the cliff. But these trees, oh my goodness. These trees are like people from a very, very old race. These are ancient beings here. I always think, I am of the personal belief that trees are people who have passed away. And these are some very intelligent, very wise trees. Very wise. I love these trees that have so much green on the roots, or the trunks rather. It's very interesting to me. It's almost like I've never seen so much, like literally on every tree. Just green, covered in green. And it's not like someone sprayed it, like in Fern Gully. It's literally just what the tree looks like. What is that? I'm gonna have to do some research and tell you guys or something. I think I'm coming up to a good area to show you guys a little overlook to how high up we are. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get a good shot without the sun being like really, really harsh. Oh gosh. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. I'm gonna have to find an overlook at some point and like, oh wait, hold on, I think right here might be good. There's no one behind me, like I have seen one car. Let's keep looking. Yeah, we out here. We're really out here. And here we are. Look! It's so beautiful. I want to hike up it, but I doubt that I am physically ready for that. Look how tall this freaking tree is. It's freaking wild. There's my car. Oh, is this for people who ski? What the heck? I have no idea. It's just some skiing rules. But look at that green on the trees. That's... Oh. Anyway, let me just be quiet. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, I just want to talk really quickly while I'm still getting some downloads. So, if you're having trouble figuring out what really matters to you, what's really important to you, or having trouble getting important information that you need to upgrade to your fifth dimensional self, remember, it's going to be in those things that, like the things that made you your true inner child, or those things that you truly deeply loved, those things that you truly were passionate about. Those things as a child helped you remember the things you needed to remember now, because you went back and you said, okay, I loved this, and that's what it taught me. But it's hard to figure out how to go from there into your purpose and your fifth dimensional self unless you get rid of all the excess attachments in your adult life. So if you are just buying things because other people are buying them or you don't really need them, stop doing that. Like, really think about what would you keep if you had to get rid of everything you owned and just live in your car, aside from clothing, and like your hygiene stuff. What would you keep in your car? For me, I'm keeping my clothing, my hygiene stuff, and then I'm keeping food, and I have books and movies. And even I've been donating other stuff that I didn't really need. Like I had a yoga roller, and based on how I'm living, I don't need it. So I donated that. I donated a plug-in mirror. I donated all this stuff that I don't need based on how I'm living, because I knew those weren't really a necessity. Those weren't really something I was deeply passionate about and would not let go of, because I haven't let go of my books and I haven't let go of my movies for a reason. Those things are really, truly important to me. So those would be the very last things that I would donate out of my car. So I think this would just be helpful in getting people to understand, if you had to put everything into your car, really think about it, reasonably, actually think about everything that's in your room, or if someone told you, you have to pack up everything to leave tonight, everything that you could fit in your car. Those are going to be the things that you feel attached to. things that you leave behind, you don't have that much of an attachment. But even then, there are things that you'll start to get rid of in your car that weigh you down, that you recognize you're not using if you're living in your car. When you're living in your car like me, I'm noticing what I'm using every day because it's in my intimate space. You don't notice it as much when it's in a bedroom or in a house because it doesn't feel as intimate to you. So I really recommend thinking about that. Just imagining if you had to live in your car and you had to take all your important things with you, what would those important things be? And then you'll notice, pretend, like just imagine yourself having to live in that car for like 2 weeks. Imagine what your routine would look like and which things you would touch and which things you wouldn't touch based on that information. And then, am I still going? I'm still going, okay. And then based on that information, you'll be like, okay, well, I know for sure I actually don't really touch this thing, even though I keep it or I have it, just in case I decide I want to, but you never do because you're not truly that interested in it or haven't spent enough time with. Or, okay, or even thinking, okay, no, this isn't useful at all. I just keep it because I'm holding it for later on when I don't even know what my life is going to look like later on based on my true path. And you get rid of that, just like I did. I know I sound so out of breath. I was walking kind of fast, and I just finished crying, so I think my body's just, like, exhausted. But yeah, so then after you do that, you recognize, like, I'm looking at the movies that I have now, and I had a bunch of movies, a bunch that I didn't really, like, some I bought just because I could buy them at the time. I was just, like, obsessed with hoarding. Well, they weren't, like, it wasn't like I would buy any movie, but literally, like, any movie I had, like, seen and, like, if I even just remotely liked it, I was like, okay, I'll get it. But I pared it down to basically everything that I watched, like, I could watch until I die. So those are the movies that I have now. I think I still have a couple where they're not I could watch until I die level, but I'm not there yet. So it's ones I could just watch over and over again. And then my next level will be the ones I could watch until I died. And then I'll know which ones are really the most important. But in doing that, that really helps me to understand that the movies that I have left, there's another level to that. Now I look at the movies that I have left, and I'm like, okay, these are really, really, really important to me. Just like when I was a kid, and whatever you really were passionate about as a child was really, really, really important to you. That your parents made you put away or like ignore and go towards a more traditional type of, job or something. Or, career, like an interest, like you are interested in one thing and they wanted you to be interested in something else. Whatever you were really, really passionate about then taught you something about yourself now. So like I was really, really, really passionate about, as a child, boobies. And that's something I'm still super passionate about now. Even just not even just like, oh, it's a movie, the creative aspect, like creating a whole nother world, like such great use of our true natural energy, creative energy is a movie. It's like you have to put in so much thought and detail into making a beautiful movie, like a movie that's really high vibrational or like really touches on you. But anyway, I'm going too far into that tangent. So then, now that I'm looking at the movies that I have left, the ones that I find really important to me are the ones that are really important in setting me up for my like personal path, my personal mission while I'm on this fifth dimensional plane. And so looking at the movies I have left, I'm like, oh, I see what you're trying to tell me with some of my favorite movies. So there are messages for you in the things that you're really passionate about. If you have only a couple books left over and you're looking at them, those books have something really important for your path, for something for you to do in this lifetime. So I don't know if I don't know if this is not me trying to say you need to go live in your car, but if you're able to really sit and meditate and use your imagination to pretend like you did it, you could probably still get it done without having to actually do it and save yourself the stress of not knowing where you're going to be sleeping next. But I kind of like it. It's been really good for me and it's helped me grow a lot. But yeah, so definitely do that because there are messages for you and how to stay in your 5D energy about your purpose, about things you'll be learning on your path, or like people you'll meet, or like if you have a divine counterpart, there might be hints and codes and messages through the things that you've kept left over if you haven't aligned with them yet. They're giving me a bunch of downloads. So definitely don't be afraid to really think about that. don't be afraid to really do that, because once you're ready, once you recognize, you can even write it down or talk to yourself on a camera like I am right now. Just sit down with yourself and the things that you have left in your imaginary car and look at them and be like, okay, so what does this say about me? Like, what is it that I love so much about this? And then try and relate it to a higher purpose or higher plan for your life based on your childhood, your inner you. You have to do inner you work as well. So you should probably just watch the last video I made of me crying in the middle of the woods, figuring out how to find my inner child, and like, I gave some interest. I don't know. I kind of just was crying and talking. I honestly don't even remember what I said. I was letting so much energy out. I think I was probably channeling for so many people in that moment. I think I was channeling a lot of other inner children when I did that. That's what it felt like. It felt like it wasn't just my inner child I was mourning. I was mourning the inner child of a lot of people. So maybe I'm hopeful that reaches a lot of people. But yeah, maybe you should watch that to get a better indication of how finding the inner child first is important, and then helping you find your you now, and then helping you stay and shift into your 5D by recognizing your true path, your purpose. That helps you stay there, because then you recognize a need and an importance to be there. You're like, I don't understand why I have to, like, I'm not doing anything. Like, you have a path, you gotta find it, and finding it is in recognizing the things that really matter to you, not adding any extra attachments to yourself that you don't need, because those aren't going to be the tools that Spirit is giving you. You're gonna be drawn to those things that are good for you, that make you feel really passionate, and those are the things you would keep closest to you. So the things that you keep closest to you give you a good indication of what it is that's probably a part of your bigger life's purpose for helping elevate consciousness, which we need to hurry up and freaking do. Oh my goodness. Let's please get on it. I can't. We have to. Alrighty. Thank you for listening.